It was an ordinary winter evening in the small town of Oak Ridge, where people lived simple lives and winter seemed to linger far too long each year. The wind howled outside, cutting through the cracks in the old wooden doors, and the cold crept into every corner of the small apartment where Emily lived alone. Emily had always been kind-hearted, but the struggles of her own life often kept her in a constant state of worry. Her job as a waitress barely paid the bills, and her small savings were always at the mercy of life's unexpected expenses. But tonight, it wasn't her worries that preoccupied her mind. It was the face she had seen outside her window. Earlier that evening, as Emily left her shift at the diner, she noticed something unusual. A figure, hunched and covered in a tattered coat, was standing on the corner near the alley. The figure was so still that at first, Emily thought it might have been a trick of the light. But then, a gust of wind blew, revealing a pale, alien face, and Emily's heart skipped a beat. The figure was not human. The creature was unlike anything Emily had ever seen. Its skin was a shimmering silver, and its eyes glowed softly, almost as if reflecting the stars in the sky. It was alien in every sense of the word, but there was something about the figure that drew Emily in. She hesitated for a moment, her mind racing with questions. Was it a prank? A person dressed for a costume? Or something much stranger? Despite the doubts in her mind, Emily couldn't ignore the quiet, desperate expression on the creature's face. It was clear that it was freezing. Emily's breath fogged up the cold window as she watched the figure struggle, shivering against the cold. She couldn't leave it out there, not in the bitter cold, especially when the temperature was dropping fast. Without thinking twice, she grabbed her coat and rushed out of the door, determined to help, regardless of how absurd it seemed. As she approached the alien, she felt the chill in the air cut through her, but her mind was focused entirely on the figure. She knelt beside it, her heart racing, trying to steady her breathing. "Are you okay?" Emily asked softly, her voice quivering from the cold. The alien's eyes met hers, and for a moment, there was a strange sense of recognition, as if it understood her more deeply than she could comprehend. Its mouth parted slightly, and a faint, raspy voice whispered back, "Cold, so cold. Please help." Emily was taken aback. Despite its alien appearance, the voice was undeniably human. It wasn't the voice of an invader or an intergalactic conqueror. It was the voice of someone or something in desperate need of warmth. Without a second thought, Emily reached into her pocket. She didn't have much, just the last $20 she had left after buying groceries earlier that day. It wasn't much, but it was all she had. She fished the crumpled bills from her pocket and handed them to the alien, offering them as if they were a lifeline. "Take this. Go inside somewhere warm. Get a blanket. You don't have to be out here in the cold," she said, her voice filled with compassion. The alien's glowing eyes flickered, and it seemed to hesitate. Then, as if understanding the gesture, it gently took the money, nodding in a slow, deliberate motion. Its thin fingers grasped the bills, and for a moment, Emily wondered if this was the last time she would ever see it. With a final grateful glance, the alien began to shuffle off into the dark, leaving the alley behind. Emily returned to her apartment, unsure of what had just happened. Had she really just given her last $20 to an alien? She chuckled nervously, thinking about how absurd the whole situation was. But somehow, she felt a strange peace, knowing that she had helped someone or something that had needed it. The next morning, Emily awoke to the harsh reality of her life. Bills were stacked on her kitchen counter, and her bank account was nearly empty. The $20 she had given away seemed insignificant in comparison to the bills she still had to pay. But as she shuffled out to check her mailbox, something caught her attention. There, lying on the ground, was a letter. It was sealed in a metallic envelope, and the moment Emily picked it up, she could feel an unfamiliar warmth emanating from it. She tore it open, her fingers trembling. Inside the envelope was a letter written in perfect English, the handwriting elegant but alien in nature. To the one who showed compassion, I was lost, cold, and dying when you found me. You gave me your last, without hesitation, without asking for anything in return. You saw me not as an alien, but as a fellow being in need. Your kindness has awakened something within me that I did not know was possible. I offer you a gift in return, something beyond your world's understanding. Please meet me where the old oak tree stands in the town square tonight at midnight. There, you will receive your reward. With gratitude, Azural, Traveler of the Stars. Emily's heart skipped a beat as she read the letter. She felt a strange mixture of confusion and wonder. What did this mean? A gift? A reward? She had given the last of her money to help someone in need, and now it seemed like there was more to this than just an act of kindness. The rest of the day passed in a blur. Emily tried to focus on her work, but her mind kept returning to the letter. Who was Azural? Really? What did it mean that the alien had offered her a gift? Was it real, or just some strange coincidence? When the clock struck midnight, Emily stood before the old oak tree in the town square, her heart pounding in her chest. The snow had begun to fall lightly once again, and the town was eerily quiet. She stood alone beneath the branches of the tree, staring into the distance, waiting. Suddenly, a figure appeared before her. Azural. The alien was no longer hunched and shivering, but standing tall and dignified, a radiant glow surrounding it. Its eyes seemed brighter, and its skin shimmered as if made of stars. I kept my promise, Azural said, his voice now full of warmth and clarity. The gift I offer is not one of riches or material wealth. It is something greater. Azural extended a hand, and in its palm appeared a small, glowing orb. It was a deep shade of blue, pulsing with energy. This is a device that will change your life. You will never worry about money again. The world will open to you in ways you cannot imagine. Emily hesitated. She had no idea what this was, but she felt an overwhelming sense of trust. She took the orb, and as soon as her fingers touched it, she felt an explosion of warmth and light. The world around her shifted, and in the blink of an eye, she was transported to a new reality. When the light faded, Emily found herself standing in a vast, beautiful space, an otherworldly city full of stars and colors she couldn't describe. People of various species walked past, all of them smiling warmly at her, as if they knew who she was. This is the gift, Azural explained. You have the ability to create your own path, to manifest the future you want. No longer bound by the limitations of Earth, you are free to explore, to live, to grow. In that moment, Emily realized that the $20 she had given was not just money. It was a key to her future. Azural had recognized her kindness and rewarded her with the opportunity to create a life of abundance, joy, and adventure. And so, Emily's life changed forever. With her new gift, she traveled beyond the stars, exploring worlds and helping others in need, always remembering the lesson that had started it all, that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can open doors to unimaginable possibilities.